Okay, starting day 5. I think day 5. We did a 0 there at the cabins at Neel Gap, and coming out of Neel Gap, of course, being Georgia, here's a climb up a mountain. I feel a little bit better than I did getting here. We'll see once I get up to the top of this mountain how things will go. And again, I promise not to take too many videos where all you hear me is wheezing. Whew. It's like a balmy 31 with a very strong breeze this morning. It is cold. It's like bitter cold. The sun's out. I'm kind of hoping it warms up just a little bit. Something so I can at least take this jacket off. So I'm going to try to give you a shot of Blood Mountain from the north side. Probably, I don't know, 500 or 600 feet up from Neel Gap. And I can now see the top of, very clearly actually, the top of Blood Mountain where I was 2 days ago. Hang on just a second. So you can see what looks like white stuff, like a white cap. It's frost. The rain that we had all day yesterday has kind of froze on the mountain and on the trees. The sun right now is hitting it just so it looks like a snow-capped mountain. Glad I didn't have to walk down that today. So earlier I was talking about Blood Mountain and how it's all, looks like it's snow covered, it's all icy. Let me flip this around. So you can kind of see, excuse me, you can kind of see Blood Mountain, it's covered in ice. And I was saying, yeah, it's nice that I'm not coming down that mountain. I don't know if you can see this bush in front of me, the ice on the leaves. And then I round the corner here and I'm greeted to this. Granted, it's a beautiful sight and I'm not actually walking down a frozen mountain. Today I'm walking up a frozen mountain. And you can just barely see down on the trail here, there's a little flecks of white. It's all accumulated ice and frost from the trees above me getting heated up by the sun, and it's kind of snowing on me now. So I guess I'm gonna have to be careful what I wish for from now on. It's beautiful though. See you in a bit. I'm not sure exactly where I'm at, but I think I'm at least as high as Blood Mountain, maybe a few feet taller, and completely surrounded by everything covered in frost. This trail is just, you run out of ways to describe how pretty something is. You say something is pretty or it's beautiful, but that's not enough. It's like Eskimos don't say snow. They have, what, more than a dozen words for snow. So when they tell you it's snowing, they don't call it snow. They call it a specific kind of snow. So it's very, very descriptive. It's kind of unique. It's kind of something that I wish that I had a way with words, because I'm tired of, not tired of, it just seems like I keep saying this is beautiful or this is pretty, and it's just not enough. And I wish I had more words to accurately describe how breathtaking some of this is. And I was talking with another hiker just a bit back, and I was like, as beautiful as this is, and it is absolutely gorgeous, seeing the frost on the trees and the sun hitting it, and it's all kind of tinkling or twinkling like stars. It's not something I would ordinarily see if I was at home, because at home I'd have more sense than to be outside in this weather. At home I'd probably be inside, curled up on the couch, maybe watching some television, maybe reading a book, sit with my dogs, but I would not be outside in this. It's kind of a shame in a way, because I almost feel like I've missed out on a little bit. Or maybe not. I mean, you can only put up with so much beauty for so long, right? This is absolutely gorgeous, though. I'll be back in a little bit. I think I'm doing better with my breathing today, by the way. So, coming down off one of these mountains, this is the backside of it. It's still sub-freezing out here on the trail. I think, I don't know if you can hear the wind in the background, but we're getting 25, 30 mile an hour gusts. And so I think we've been talking, a couple of us, can't get a hold of Zane, but a couple of us have been talking about getting off trail tonight, because now it's supposed to be 14 degrees. And getting a place down in Helen. Look at that. The entire trail is froze up. So we may get off trail a little bit early today, get a shuttle, and spend a night in Helen. And we don't have to test our tents and sleeping bags at 14 degrees. This wind has been, the walking hasn't been difficult, but you get on a certain side of a mountain and you're catching a blast of super cold air right in the face, and it just really saps the energy. So today I'm going to end a little short. I'm going to end at a place called Cowpen. I think it's Cowpen Gap. I'm going to run into Helen tonight and spend the night in there. We're talking about temperatures tonight. We're supposed to get down in the teens, and with the wind the way it was today and the weather, it's going to repeat again tomorrow. I'm just not feeling it. Not a tent tonight. We're going to sleep in a hotel room. So it makes for a little bit shorter day, but my mind, well worth it. I'll be able to take a shower again, get some real food again, and come back up here in the morning and start all over. Talk to you guys again when I get to hotel. That hiker way up there is the guy I just met over the last several days. His trail name is Chop, like pork chop. Pork chop and I got talking, and he said that tonight the temperature is supposed to get down to about 14. I said, well, I heard 19. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I said, yeah, it's kind of cold, isn't it? Let's go get a ride. So I'm going to ride into Helen with him and get a hotel room. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, so it started a new day. Just dropped off at Corbin Gap. I'm gonna attempt, I got a 14, at this point about a 13-mile walk to Unicoi Gap. Yesterday I got off the trail and went to a town called Helen. Spent the night there, the Hampton Inn. It was pretty nice. It's a nice little Bavarian themed town. So I figured if I could get through this to the next pickup point, which is Unicoi Gap, catch shuttle and go back in and have another shower and another night in bed. We'll see how that works out. The temperature this morning is still cold like yesterday, just not nearly as windy. So the cold it doesn't bite you. Something unique today. I got two very cold butt cheeks coming up that hill, the first hill out of the gap there. Do have some pretty nice views this morning with the sunshine. Let me flip the camera around here for you. Don't ask me what any of those mountains are, because I have no clue. They're big ones that I've either climbed or am going to climb or don't have to climb. That's all that really matters. This is the first big grade. It's part of the grade coming out of Corbin Gap. I'm just about to the top of it, so around this bend, and it should be relatively gentle up and down until we get to Unicoi. I've been told that Unicoi Gap is about 2 miles downhill, and it's an exceptionally rough 2 miles of downhill. So we'll see how this turns out for us. I'm going to be walking kind of quick today, so I may not be taking many videos or many pictures today. I'll try, but I need to make that gap. All right, talk to you later. I can feel it's cold enough out here. I'm breathing in my mustache, and then down below, down there, it's freezing up. And every time I do one of these, whiskers kind of pull. I slowed down here, stopped here. I want to show you this ice. So I've been seeing this ice all along the trail, and it looks like, I don't know how well this is going to come out on camera, but it looks like fur. And as I'm walking along here, there's a whole wall of this ice. And I think, look at that. Oh. I think what's happening is the moisture, let me flip this around. I think what's happening is the moisture in the ground, as it's freezing and expanding, the only place it has to expand is out. So you end up seeing all along the trail the last couple of days, because of the temperatures, I end up seeing like all this furry looking ice. Weirdest thing. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I'm sure the Eskimos have a name for that. All right, let me get back at it. I made it to Neel Gap. This is where I was supposed to spend the night last night. It is all cleaned out right now. Everybody else that I was kind of hiking around was supposed to be here to spend the night last night. And I'm thinking I passed a whole bunch of tents at the gap on the other side of this mountain behind me. I think maybe nobody else made it to Neel Gap. They kind of stopped short. I don't know. It's kind of pretty. Windy though. I would not have wanted to stay here last night. I'm actually making pretty good miles, or making pretty good time. Hold on. It's 10:15. I started at 8. This is 4.4 miles, so about 2 miles an hour today, which is much better than what I have been doing. And with that, I want to shut up and keep moving, because I got 10 more miles from here. Bye. So here's a bit of a different look at the trail. This is an old road bed. So even though you can see the trail is clearly established, it's a pretty wide area to walk through. So, and because it's an old road bed, the grade is a little bit gentler, not quite as steep. So hopefully we don't have to go all the way up there today. Yeah, and we'll see. There's a view of a little bit of what they call the green tunnel. Just the overgrowth that surrounds the trail kind of forms a green tunnel. Apologize for the breathing, but been uphill for the last probably 3/4 of a mile. I just wanted to get this kind of shot for the video. So going downhill here for a little bit anyhow, you know, look out across here and I see that gorgeous ridgeline. And as pretty as I think it looks, it also looks like something I'm going to have to walk across. Yay me. All right, back to walking. Okay, first video for today. Just climbed out of Dix Creek. The wheezing guy is getting farther and farther behind me, but he's still following me. Got to the top here, there's a campsite behind me. You can see a little blue blaze there in the background. And then off in front of me, the most amazing thing. There's a mountain that apparently, at least not right now, apparently we're not going to climb. We're actually going to follow the terrain around to, you know, I'm sure another mountain. Feeling pretty good today. I hope today turns out like I expect it to. Put me back on track to meeting everybody up in Gatlinburg. I appreciate all the comments that everybody's been leaving on my YouTube and whatnot. It really means a lot to have some of that encouragement. I told Nancy the other day that it feels like every day so far has been a bit of a failure. You know, that first day, we did, 10 miles, Nancy and I did, and I was on top of the world. I mean, at 10 miles, it was a good first day, 10 miles. Nancy was with me. It was the first day. It was the approach trail. It's the start of the trip. So emotionally, it meant a lot to me. And every day since then, I've not gone as far as I wanted to. The last couple days, I actually have been doing some pretty big miles. More than probably what I should be doing. My legs are pretty burnt right now. Today's not going to be too long. Maybe 10-ish miles or so. And we'll see how I feel. There's a campsite, I think, in about 9-point-something miles, and about a mile or two after that, there's another campsite. So we'll see how I feel after 9 miles, if I want to keep going to that next campsite. Yeah, life is good. Even as difficult as this trail is, with the climbs and the weather. It's still freezing out right now, but with the sun and zero wind, I've had to take off my coat, my raincoat. I'm just hiking in a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt right now. I got my bucket hat out, first time. And some of the people are, if nobody knows why, my trail name is Captain Von Trapp. So I like to wear bucket hats like this. With a short brim, and I fold up the back brim so that it's kind of standing up. That way the rain, if it does sprinkle or whatever, rain doesn't drip off the brim down the back of my neck. Years ago, I was on a section of this trail, and I was standing on some little overlook with a bucket hat on, and somebody looked at me and said that I looked like that guy from Sound of Music, Captain Von Trapp. So that kind of stuck. It's kind of a mouthful. People don't usually say Captain Von Trapp, they usually say Cap. But that's where that trail name come from. It come from years ago, and I haven't got anything better, so I'm sticking with it. Thanks for everybody that's watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the questions you're asking. I really do appreciate it. It keeps me kind of pumped to keep going. I guess that's all for right now. I think we're coming up to the border, I think, here pretty soon. If I remember correctly, I'll do a quick video at the border to kind of celebrate my first state, but I'll talk to y'all here in a second. I'm kind of walking along minding my own business, and I look up and I see something, and I'm like, huh, that's familiar. I've seen that before. I'm like, huh, I know where I'm at. Guess where I'm at? Finally, Georgia. Georgia has been cruel to me. She's been mean to me. I will not miss her. Let's hope that the Tar Heels are a little bit better guests than the Bulldogs were. Let me get at the rest of this hill. So I'm going to treat you to a on the trail lunch here. Got a tortilla with some cheese and a packet of tuna fish and some mayonnaise, and that's my my trail lunch. Give me a second so I can put this phone down and open up the tuna fish, and boom, there's lunch. Tuna fish, cheese, mayonnaise, and a payday bar for dessert. I'm gonna set this down and get to eating because I still got a few miles to walk today. Well, it's morning. Very first thing this morning, getting up, making breakfast, topped off my water, drank a bunch of water, hit the trail. The very first thing was a mountain to climb, of course. Welcome to North Carolina, yay! Today should be a relatively easy day though. I need to make it to a gap of the road so I can call a shuttle and get into Franklin. I've got a tooth back here, apparently the filling broke. And I have a feeling I can still, when I chew, I can feel it kind of rattle around in there. So I know it's got to be, fixed. So I got to get into Franklin and find a dentist that's willing to fix it short notice and for cash. And then get back to the trail and make up whatever time I lose in Franklin. Yay. Well, let me get at this trail. I got about, 7 more miles to go till I hit a road. And hopefully I'll have cell service and I can call somebody. So, yeah, here we go. Okay, so a little bit down from the top of this mountain, I come around a corner and I get one of these. I'm sure I got to climb that big mountain there, but I start looking around like this. And the sunshine hitting those mountains, I'm sure that I have to walk them. But it does look very pretty. Earlier, when I did that little panorama with the mountains, at one mountain I kind of laughed and said, well, I'll probably have to climb that one. Yeah, guess what? I gotta climb it. Man. A cute little footbridge you get across this creek. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this down. Not sure what top I'm on, but kind of looking down in this valley, you see that little white thing right about there. I think that's about to start. You can kind of see way right about there. There's a lake. I believe that's all Hiawassee. Looking at it from a ridge line up here. It's kind of pretty. Trail's not too bad through here. It's been kind of a day of ups and downs for me. Up this hill, down that hill, up this hill, down that hill. It's kind of slowing my pace down a little bit. But we'll get there. I got all day to walk. So I got a minute, and I got to an empty shelter, so I figured I'd show you guys a little bit of what a shelter looks like. So this is the shelter proper. Let's step back away from it a little bit. So basically it's a three-sided structure with a roof over top of it. This one has a nice little fire pit right outside. They don't all have that. As you come in, here's your sleeping pad. That's where everybody stretches out their mats and their sleeping bags and goes to sleep. You have basic sitting. That's a meal prep area. You don't really want to prep your food while you're sleeping. Then a picnic table, more meal prep. And usually shelters come with these fancy little things called, and I'm not going to walk all the way up there, but there's a privy up there, so you don't have to go to the bathroom in the woods. This also has, right behind it, a water source, a small creek. So you can step down there and refill your water. So that's what a shelter area kind of looks like. And then there's usually some open areas also around the shelter in case it's full and people need to set up tents. So